rather than you go pray, you go find somebody else that you can talk to about this stuff who's a bigger witch as the one that's doing the witchcraft. So I suggest you don't talk to everybody. Don't tell everybody your business. Keep your mouth shut. Don't tell everybody, because what they know, listen, if you plan on doing something, wait until it's done. Then let them see it. Don't tell them. Don't put your name on it. When you go check it out, park your car 3 blocks away and walk around there. You don't want them to know. These folks will come by, ride by, abracadabra, speaking in a devilish tongue to curse what you do. You better understand what you're dealing with. This church thing is not a game. And we come up in the church, oh, they show good sing. But you don't even realize that the musician was operating in witchcraft. Don't even understand that the person who was leading the song just got out of the bed. The girl finished leading the song, got out of the bed with another woman last night. See, we don't even know that. We don't even know that these folk were smoking crack and drinking liquor. And we say, that was a good worship service. What kind of demons were loosed in your midst? You felt good, but you ain't going to have good days, I tell you that. I'm going to preach to you, and I'm the biggest whoremonger in the county. What kind of spirit is going to be in this church? Whoremongering spirit. Now, you may do some whoremongering, but you didn't get it from me. You didn't get it from me. And the old folks said, you got it from somewhere else. Now, let me show you this real quick. 1 Samuel 15. Now, Yahweh told through Samuel, his prophet, he told Saul, go out and destroy all the Amalekites. With the cattle and the sheep, the goats, everything. Don't bring nothing back. Now, I used to wonder, I said, Lord, why were you so hard on these Amalekites? Well, when you study the scriptures sufficiently and find enough extra biblical information, you'll find out that the Amalekites, based on Genesis 6, were part angel. Their ancestors were these fallen angels. So these people were angel-human hybrids. And the only place I found in Scripture where God said get rid of everything were where they were people who were mixed with these fallen angels. I never find a place in the Scriptures where there were people that were fully human where he said get rid of all of them. Now he told them get rid of the Canaanites, Hittites, Girgashites because they were mixed. And there is extra biblical data to prove it. They were mixed with fallen angels. Those were the only people he said get completely shut up. Everybody else, he said, I want you to be an example to them. Don't get caught up in their idolatry. You live here, I'll make you the head, then they'll follow you up to me. People, fallen angels, part angel, part human, they already know me. They have already been cursed. They can never be redeemed. And these are their children, and they're going to grow up and do the same thing that their parents did. So what I want you to do is get rid of all of them. That's why he told them get rid of all the Amalekites. And everything that they had was mixed. You read the book of Jasher. It said that even the animals, the fallen angels, had created hybrids in the animals. You think all of these half man and half horse stuff, you think that's some legend? No, that stuff was true. But see, we don't want to deal with all that. So I know that scares you, but I'm telling you what I found from years of research. So he said, get rid of all of that. So Yahweh was not mean. Yahweh just knew that he wasn't going to have part angel, part human on the planet because they had broken his law. Because he said he so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. He didn't come to destroy anybody. He came to show us how to get it right. But everything you find that he said get totally rid of, it was mixed. That's why he said that. So that would be equivalent today to folks that have gotten into witchcraft and have become so demon possessed that they cannot be freed from it. They don't want to be freed from it. And God said, don't suffer a witch to live. So you got to know how to let the scriptures work themselves, and you'll understand. So now, Saul went out there and he destroyed part of them, brought some of them back. And then Samuel said, hey, Saul, said, did you do everything? Yahweh said, oh, yeah, I did it. I got it. So Samuel said, well, what means this bleating of sheep and lowing of cattle out here back there? Oh, the people did that. That's people. He said, the people? I thought you were the leader. He said, well, I know I've sinned and I've transgressed the commandment of the Lord because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. He said, what kind of leader you going to be that you let the people run you? Who is it that says, I'm the leader, and then when the people say, shut up, he sits down? What kind of leader are you that cannot govern with strength? What kind of leader are you that's flip-flopping, can't tell, you on everybody's side? Everybody's not right. When are you going to get this thing corrected? So he said, look, Saul, you got a problem here, boy. He said, Yahweh's upset with you. He said, he's going to take the kingdom from you. That he's not going to let you be the king. He said, when you were little among the people, he raised you up and told you you were going to be top dog. He said, but you decided you want to do your own thing. You see, what I'm saying to you, you need to stop letting your children, your grandchildren, other folk run your lives if you're the leader. You cannot be fearing the little people. The little people are up under the big people. But now here's the problem. If you got the spirit of Saul, then what you want to do is compromise because, okay, I better not say too much to him because every month he brings me an extra $150. You see? So he's in your house doing stuff, and you let him do that because you want that $150. You see, you got a Saul spirit. That's right. And you're supposed to rule, but you cannot rule because you don't know how to govern. Now, I did not say be mean and wretched and wicked. It's just a matter of, no, that's not going to happen here. That's not going to be done. Now, if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to have to insist that you leave. Now, because you're going to have to leave, I'm not going to have that $150 a month. I'm not going to change my locks because I ain't got the money. So you better not come back in my house as long as you're doing that. Now, I know the Lord will make a way. God says, now that's the spirit of the leader. But see, when you let everybody do what they want to, you have no order. Now, see, y'all need to understand something. Most families today are blended families. We got some children, and I got some children, and then we come together. Y'all better get together and decide on one set of rules. And say, now, this is how we're going to do this. And then you sit those children down and say, now, look, this is the way this is going to work. And if she says this to you, you best get it done. Because if she tells me you didn't, I'm your daddy, I'm going to skin your nose. Now, if he says this to you, you best get it done. Because I'm your mama, and if he tells me you didn't do it, you're in trouble. I know he's not your biological. But you're living up under a roof that he is providing or helping to provide. And since thou art not working, since thou dost not make money, since you eat what's in that fridge and you ain't bought a thing, don't make me have to put the fridge on lockdown. Since you go in there and use water and soap you did not buy, don't wind up stinking because I tell you no soap and no water. Since you don't do anything here, you're going to listen to the ones who do. It's a simple process for me. You ain't my daddy. No, I'm not. But let me take you down here to the bank. I got about a half dozen more payments to show you whose name is on this deed. You see that name? That name is above every name in this house. Now, since your name is not on this deed, I suggest you get your little bag tied on a stick, hanging on your shoulder, and go catch a train wherever you want to. Because you about to be homeless. You're going to be a hobo. Better buy you a phone card and call me from wherever you land. You got to be strong enough to guide and to lead. And you got to stop letting the devil run roughshod over you. I can't be afraid that folk don't like what I got to say. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you to be that small-minded. You done got up under some little idolatrous leadership to where he or she preaches everything just the way you like it. They tell you nothing. There's no strength. There's no backbone. There's no order. All they give you is snap, crackle, and pop sermons. Popcorn sermons. Telling you, go ahead and slap 5 people on the hand and tell them God's going to fix it. Go ahead and tell 4 people that God's going to turn it around. Turn around 17 times until you fall out and then say God's going to fix it. I ain't preaching no mess like that. If somebody tells you to high five me, I want you to have something in your hand. So when you high five, I take it back. Don't high five me and you broke. I don't need to be hanging with folk that ain't got no vision. You better have some in your hand. And then I'll high five something back to you. You see, we need to understand how this thing works. And folks, we've been played in the black church. We have been played like a fiddle. And we had better get our eyes open, because time is closer than where you would have imagined. Now, Saul wouldn't do what God said. So then Saul told Samuel. They brought Agag back. Agag was the king of the Amalekites. The Amalekites, they were Amalek, his father was Eliphaz, who was a son of Esau, who was a brother, the brother of Jacob. So what they had done, he said, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. He said, because Esau has no true value for the things of the kingdom, but he is a Hebrew Israelite. He knows everything that I do. He knows how to do it. He can act just like the church. He said, now here you are bringing something back that looks and acts like the church, but it's not the church. He said, now, I didn't tell you to do that. He said, because once you start mixing demonic forces, which are spirits of witchcraft and divination, into the church, what you have is a false system of worship, and that's where we are. So I'm not taking the king of the Amalekites and letting him live. He told Saul, he said, you kill him. And Agag, his name means flame. In other words, he'll stir up stuff. He'll cause problems. And Saul brought him back, stirring up all kinds of stuff in the kingdom, because he wanted the people to have what they wanted to have, and the people did not know what God had told the leader. And all of a sudden, here's problems. So then, Samuel tells Saul. Look at verse 21 of chapter 15. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. That's what Saul tells Samuel. The people took it. The people did it. And then he says in verse 22, and Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, and as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. So you see, you do not have to go any further than yourself and say, I ain't going to do that. And you know what you're in? Witchcraft. When you're stubborn and say, I don't care what he say, I ain't studying none of that. You know what you're in? Witchcraft. When you get to the place that you say, I ain't going to do it, I ain't studying it, and then he said iniquity and idolatry, he said that now you're into witchcraft and idol worship. That's why we can't get anything done. That's why black folk are into idolatry worse than anybody. We let everybody else tell us what to do, what to think. We don't have any sense of our own. We have no direction on our own. Everybody leads us. They buy a couple of our boys. You see, you say, well, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce, listen, they sold their souls to the devil to get what they got. They work for Satan. That's why they're where they are. The system let them get that high and become billionaires because they work the system for those who run it so that they can seduce us. And we little black people running around to yeah, I'm going to be a rapper like Jay-Z. No, you ain't. No, you not. And see, even if you're going to be a superstar football player, you still are just a $40 million slave. And when they get through with you, they're going to put you out the pasture. You ain't going to wind up in nothing. And see, they fix it so that they bring their women to the boys in college so that they're programmed for the European woman and not for you. Don't you see the game? And then I bring you to church. High five 5 people and tell them God's going to fix it. Oh, just go ahead and slap 7 people side the head. Tell them, I know the Lord is going to turn it around. We play these childish, idiotic games in church. The Bible said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Now listen, I want you all this week, I want you to, when the Lord spoke to me, he said, tell my people this week, I want them to operate in a week of consecration. Consecration. Fast Monday and Wednesday. He said, during this time, deny yourself. This week, from this Sunday to next Sunday, deny yourself. Stuff that you don't have to have. Put it aside. Let your words be yea, yea, and nay, nay. Quit talking so much. You got too much to say about stuff you don't know a cotton picking thing about. Just hush. Folks say, well, what you think about this? I don't think anything about it. Well, what do you think about what? Apostle Jacob said, you need to figure that out. I'm dealing with myself. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Keep your words. He said, tell them, because witchcraft has been running this country. They can't get out because they operate in it without realizing it. Let your words be seasoned with grace. Know how to say stuff. Say stuff the right way. He said, tell them to bear one another's burdens, so fulfill the law of Christ. You need to be praying for somebody else all this week. You don't need to spend 2 minutes on you. It needs to be about everybody else. You need to be calling the names of everybody you know in prayer. He said, you need to esteem others better than yourself. You need to be saying, Lord, I tell you what, brother so-and-so, he sure is sharp. That guy knows how to do what he does. He sure can pray. Sister so-and-so, she can sure enough sing. And I tell you what, those sound people, they make stuff work so easy. I mean, you need to be blessing somebody else and not focus on you. He said, to let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but only that which is good to the use of edifying. You don't need to be saying anything that's not going to build something up. You don't need to be cursing anybody. You don't need to be dogging anybody. You don't need to be saying the wrong things. I don't care if you do have a playful personality. Your playful personality can make you think you're innocent, but the devil can use you with your playful personality. And you wind up putting stuff in place, putting stuff in motion that should not be there. As much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. As much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Where 2 or 3 of you are gathered together, he said, I'll be in your midst. He said, now, if you all stop saying the stuff you say and start thinking right, let me change your mind. When you ask me for stuff, it'll come. He said, but you all have one thing in your spirit say something else out of your mouth. And he said, your mouth is the problem. He said, you need to say what is good and righteous because power of life and death is in your tongue. You start saying what is right, it will change your insides. I'm telling you, the devil has got a fight on his hands because he's not going to take that woman from me. He's not going to take me from that woman. We're not going to be taken from our children and our grandchildren because the Bible said that we can have long life. He would satisfy us with long life. But I've got to understand that the power of life and death is in what I say. I've got to say what is right and say it until it becomes a reality in me. I am an energy field I'm invested with the Holy Ghost. He's in me. So why do I act like the Holy Spirit is not in me because of my wrong behavior? That's schizophrenic, folk. He said, we got to walk together in agreement. This week, whatever you're looking to see achieved, you get together with somebody who believes what you believe and you believe what they believe, and you all say, this week, I'm in total agreement with you. You're in agreement with me. And we're going to pray until we see the manifestation of what God said. Some of you just need to take a vow of silence. You just need to learn to just shut up. You just talk too much. Saying stuff you got no business saying. Now, I know you got to talk on your job, but say what is right. And don't be coming home with a whole lot of goofy, crazy stuff. Say the things that are right. Cast down vain imaginations. Cast them down. Because anything that does not lend itself to what this word said, I cast it down. It's got to go. He said, with his stripes I'm healed. So I don't care what I feel. That's got to go. He said that he will bless me with long life. I don't care what I feel. It's got to go. He said that he would cause me to prosper and be in health, even as my soul prospers. I don't care if the money gets a little tight. I'm still going to be blessed because I am doing what he said, and it's got to be where I'm taken care of down the road because he cannot lie. But see, you got to make decisions about what you're going to do. Listen, I cannot give you what you need in 15 minutes. I can't. Now, that's where America's got to. Well, I'm just accustomed to going to church 15 minutes. That's why you so goofy, messed up, broke, ain't got good sense. Because you go to church 15 minutes and don't get nothing. We don't give you enough to show you how to restructure yourself. When I went to college, when I was in high school, we didn't have classes that were 15 minutes. No. When I was in college, I took some classes that were 4 hours every time I went in them. And they'd give us a little break. We'd come back, and you better learn to discipline your mind. But see, we think, well, I don't go to church for that. What do you go to church for? For entertainment? This is not Chuck E. Cheese. This is grown folk church. Now, if you stop putting in motion some of these things I told you, you'll see your life turn around. Because I absolutely believe that we are supposed to be the head and not the tail because we're Hebrew Israelites. Black folk, you're not just black folk. You are somebody else. And you've been lied to. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth, even if you don't believe it. But see, I've proven what I say. And let me say this to you. How are you going to challenge me? And I've been studying a subject for 20 years because I couldn't figure out why things were like they were. And you haven't even read the Bible and then going to tell me I'm wrong. What kind of sense does that make? That's wicked thinking. But yet you won't go challenge a PhD who is lying to you. Well, Dr. So-and-so said it. Well, see, I've studied behind Dr. So-and-so. I've read what he's read. And it ain't true. He's lied. But that's what he wants to believe, and he works for the system, so he puts it out there. I don't work for the system. I work for the kingdom. So I have a different something to say about this Bible. And if you take what we tell you, I guarantee you, you'll be the head and not the tail. You will be the head and not the tail. You won't have to be coming every time you turn around asking for prayer so that you can get this promotion or that. The promotions would run you down and overtake you. You'd be coming back to me, yeah, Apostle, I got another promotion this week. I just got one 6 months ago. I said, well, that's where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to happen. That's how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be where you need y'all to fast and pray because I sure want this promotion. It ain't supposed to be that for you. But that's the way we think because that's the program we've been given. Lord, I sure hope the Lord does it for me. Lord, please, please. He said, I have ordered your steps. I know what you need before you even ask. And here you are, don't have enough faith to trust him because you don't know who you are. Well, I know who I am, and when he tells me something, I'm getting on it. And what he said I can have, I'm going to have. I don't walk in that anymore when I'm saying, Lord, I sure hope you do it. I've gotten to know his voice well enough now. When he tells me something, I don't even bother with it anymore. I just start saying, Lord, I thank you for that. But see, used to, he tell me something, I go to fasting and praying, y'all pray with me, because I think the Lord told me so and so and so. See, I didn't have no faith. I didn't know what I was doing. He tells me something now, okay, that's done. I'm gone. That's where you need to get to. The way you're not running around hoping. You're supposed to be knowing. You see, I'm moving on towards the head. I'm right up there around the neck right now. A little bit, I'm going to be the head. And when I get totally at the head, I'm going to be up very high. Now, if you had the chance to go to the head with me, and you still hang around down here around the tail, I ain't coming down. I want you to know, I ain't coming down. And I don't even know if I got a long enough rope to throw it back there to the tail. I ain't coming back. I'm going to stay. Because that's where I'm supposed to be. Where are you supposed to be? Based on the Word of God. I want to pray a prayer to break the spirit of witchcraft off you.